This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and I'm really excited to bring to you today the first deck, which maybe, hopefully, if there's time, will be many, of 100 card Historic Brawl. This is an F&M festival event that is running through the end of the day, but you can still get in on the action for 100 card festival Historic Brawl because they're also going to run an event the rest of the week. So today, Friday that I'm recording this, is like the day that you can test the format, see if you like it. And the rest of the week, you'll be able to queue up in 100 card Commander style Singleton, which is really excited. It has its own ban list, and a lot of things that were banned are not currently banned, and there are some interesting decks to build. I'm going to start today with one of the elephants in the room, one of the cards that when it's legal, people are very much like, oh my god, how is that card legal? I'm still like, how the hell was this card even printed, to be totally honest with you? And that's OMNATH. OMNATH is a legal commander that brings you into 4 colors and has absurd abilities. It really pays you off for ramping, so we're mostly a ramp deck. And I've divided my piles of cards into, over here are ways to draw cards and get value, and this is a pile of ways to interact with your opponent and keep them from doing their thing. Oops. And then over here we have a pile of ramp to make sure that you're playing a lot of lands, which is kind of the theme of the deck, because as long as you're playing lands, you're making more mana, dealing more damage, gaining more life. As long as you're doing that, it's really hard to kill you. Then how we kill our opponent, we've got two piles here of what I call the payoffs, the mid-game payoffs and the late-game payoffs of how we actually put the opponent down. There are a lot of ways and a lot of options to do it, and I ended up trimming most of the win cons just to run more lands and make sure that I'm never missing land drops with the deck, but there are a lot of ways that you could go. Some things I'm not running that you certainly could run: Finale of Devastation, Craterhoof Behemoth, like that's a pretty cool endgame. Scoot Swarm combined with that is very, very strong. And things of that nature are certainly could be part of the deck. What's the other one? Sylvan Awakening turns all your lands into creatures and they can attack. That's a really good one. But I ended up cutting a lot of that because I was just getting clunky hands and I wanted to hit every single land drop. And you'll see here that we have 47 land, and that doesn't count my modal DFCs, of which I have at least 3 that I can think of. Shatterskull Smashing, and then I have Balaged Recovery, and I know I also have Seagate Restoration. So we're talking over half the deck can be played as a land, and I say that because it's a 100 card Historic Brawl. OMNATH counts as one of your 100, so your deck is a 99 carder, and I have at least 50 cards I can play as lands. So that's how important hitting your land drops is, and I wouldn't recommend cutting back on that. I think that is what the deck is meant to do, and it lets you play some cards that otherwise don't turn out very good. Let's first go through the ramp column. Explore. Into the north, we've got some snow lands in our mana base. This is a very good card with some snow lands. Lotus Cobra, Growth Spiral, Arcane Signet. So another mana source. It's a 4-color mana fix in this deck, which is why I run it, and I don't run any other kind of artifact ramp, really. Azusa, well, if you have that many lands, hopefully playing 2 extra a turn is a real possibility sometimes. Cultivate, surprising no one. Dryad of Elysian Grove. This one should be able to hit extra land drops often, and it fixes for your colors. Elvish Rejuvenator, that's a nice one for Historic Brawl. Roiling Regrowth, this gets you 2 landfall triggers for OMNATH. Wayward Swordtooth, another one that lets you play an additional land, a forgotten rare from Ixalan, Rivals of Ixalan. Knight of the Reliquary, a forgotten card from a historic anthology, one of the early ones. You can tap it to sacrifice a forest or plains, search your library for any land card, and put it onto the battlefield. You'll see that we have some pretty strong utility lands that we like fetching up, but just on its own, that's another land drop trigger. Uro, still not banned here. Migration Path, Hour of Promise, Scape Shift, which is a lot of landfall trigger, and Oracle of Moldiah. always to hit extra lands and make sure that Omnath keeps triggering. That's so many different ways to keep this card moving. All right, interaction. We want to interact a little bit and keep our opponent from beating us. We don't have very much of it. We just have about 8 pieces here, but usually if you can get 1 or 2 pieces of interaction early, you should be able to do enough of your thing to overpower whatever their thing is. So Swords to Plowshares is legal here. Disdainful Stroke, Memory Lapse, Negate, Tail's End, Counterspell, legal, Mystical Dispute, and Shatter Skull Smashing as just ways to keep the opponent from not completely running you over. Value. Ephemerate is a fun one. You can flicker your Omnath and both reset its landfall abilities so you can use them again, and you can draw cards with it because whenever Omnath enters the battlefield, it draws a card. There's also a few other cards in the deck Ephemerate is good with. You'll know them when you see them. They have ETB triggers. Some are really mean. Brainstorm, why not? Abundant Harvest, absolutely. Gotta keep the consistency of the deck. Once Upon a Time, not banned here. The Quandrix Prodigy is a good one. This is another way to hit more land drops, but you often use the 4-mana tap ability to draw 2 cards because you often have 8 or more lands. And then Tome of Legends, always good in Commander if you have a creature commander that you plan to cast often. Treasure Map, oh my gosh, I wish this one was still in Standard. A little better than Maze Mine Tome, hurts me to say it, but the color fixing in the ramp is so strong. The Balaged Recovery lets us get some things back. Kiora the Behemoth Beckoner triggers to draw an extra card, and untapping permanence is like ramping Risen Reef. Great combo with Omnath since it is an elemental. Showdown of the Scalds to keep the cards flowing, and we'll also get to Escape to the Wilds, which is over here in kind of my payoff category, but could go here as well. And also could be in the payoff category, Hydroid Krasis to draw billions of cards. But when you're hitting all those lands, you have to actually take advantage of it. Felidar Retreat does the job. Spark Double can copy Omnath, which is sweet. Double Omnath is insane. Other Omnath triggers off other Omnath, and when you're playing lands, draws more cards. Time Warp, because extra turns are busted. Not banned here. Nissa, Who Shakes the World. Zendikar's Royal, to let you make a little army along with Felidar Retreat for every land that you hit. Mirari's Wake, to pump that army and let you tap your lands for double mana. When you play this card, you are doing it. It's another card from the anthologies. And then we have Commit, which we both want to use the Commit side to protect our combo, and Memory to redraw 7 when we run out of things to do. And then we have Agent of Treachery. That card with Ephemerate is gross. Steal their commander, steal their fun planeswalkers, just get them. Alrund's Epiphany. Seagate Restoration to draw a billion cards, Genesis Ultimatum, because why not, Ugin the Spirit Dragon to have a board wipe, and Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Yes, we can play it. We can play it on turn 5. It is what it is, man. That's the payoff I like to run. Finale Craterhoof might be better than Ugin Ulamog, but I have a soft spot for the Eldrazi, so that's what I choose to do. The mana base is just a pile of most of the dual lands that you can play in Historic. And then down near the bottom, we actually have a lot of utility lands because we're playing so many lands. We need to get value out of our mana base. Field of the Dead, of course, is the big one. Hashtag not banned. And we also have Arch of Arazka and Bonder's Enclave, which can keep cards flowing. A lot of sack lands like Evolving Wilds, Fable Passage, and the often forgotten Terramorphic Expanse, which is in Jumpstart, and you can craft. I think it's only a common. And Ghost Quarter as well as another way to make multiple land drops, along with Field of Ruin. So we do have some fetch lands. I also have a Shimmerdrift Veil because it's a snow land. You can fetch it up with Into the North, and it can make a mana of a chosen color. I also have some dual lands that I can fetch from the Snowland category hiding in here somewhere, but none that produce green since I already have green if I'm casting Into the North. Woo! Omnath. Let the nonsense begin. Ooh, we get to fight Sweet Chin Music Narset. Should be an eventful battle. And let's see, we have Kiora on the draw into Omnath, into Hour of Promise, and Spark Double. It's slow, might just get countered, but our opponent's hand is going to be slow too. And these are powerful cards. The mana also isn't great as we have 2 sort of colorless sources. 3 colorless sources. Okay. Getting worse by the draw step. All right. The staring match continues. Let's see if the opponent has an answer for the Kiora. All right, first counter of the game deployed. Will not be the last, I'm sure. And then our opponent taps out for Narset, which they can do pretty safely because of the Enclave, unfortunately. Spark Double hits nothing. We could use our white source to play a Showdown. That's pretty bad. I think I'm just doing this. Migration Path, play this. See if they use the mana for anything. Sphinx is Rev, but they're tapped out. That is a nice draw 3, though. Maybe I'm supposed to cycle this, because we also have Hour. Really awkward to untap this, but I want to cast the Growth Spiral. We could do this instead and cycle a Migration Path instead of casting the Growth Spiral. It would be really bad to lose either one of these, though. Honestly, I don't think I can afford to lose them. Probably should have been the Aether Hub. Definitely should have been the Aether Hub. Oh, I love it when Narset tells me my form is loose. Feels so good. All right. Dream Trawler in the house.
Strike with a cunning mind.
We still don't have a white. Wrath of God got discarded and Dream Trawler hit the battlefield. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough one. Let's see if we can draw into some good stuff. Okay, that's white mana. It's tapped, unfortunately. So do we untap this Triome now and Spark Double this? We could just tap this for 2, untap it, cast Migration Path. Or Hour, which is even better. Okay, that's the play. Protect the Stomping Ground. How do we deal with a Dream Trawler, though? This fixes some colors. Let's start getting our zombie on. Nissa's probably in trouble, but I think that's okay. What if we had Spark doubled the Nissa and then untapped another land? I think it's just too risky that we lose all our forests with plays like that. And instead of getting Command Tower, I should have gotten another forest. Some other forest, like Breeding Pool, right? To go with the Nissa. I doubt I'll untap with it anyway. Could have and should have, I guess, can be different things. I know it looks like we have too many colorless sources in our deck. Honestly, it's weird that we drew them all. The mana's supposed to be a challenge as well. All right, let's see if they can find the extra card. They need one more. Down to 1. 40 to 25. Easy game. Well, at least they didn't take an extra turn. So which of these cards do you think they'll counter? I guess if they counter Omnath, we're not that upset. It is sort of like card advantage when they counter your commander in that way. See, this comes in untapped. All right, let's get countered. Ooh, rewind. That is brutal. Do we want to Spark Double the Nissa while we can? Where can we get an easy blue? I'd have to untap this land, which I still don't really want to do. Oh, we still have the energy. See which counter spell you want to use here. Uh-huh. So, I can't get to white mana. This doesn't tap for double. This doesn't tap for double. I could get to, if I can get to blue mana, I can cast like the growth spiral. That's about it. I still think I'm going to get Wrath though. So maybe I cast Migration Path.
Overwhelming. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I guess if they Wrath, they lose Dream Trawler, which is good. But they're going to need to pretty soon. Alright, so what do we need most? We have one white, double white. Our red and our blue are what are really up for grabs here. And our green. Where do we get red if these blow up? I guess Command Tower can do it. We should only need one red. So let's grab the forest. $34 is a lot, but zombies add up. Time for Nissa to peace out.
Fight on without me.
No plays. Settle the wreckage? I guess I'd welcome it to some extent. Let's see if we can get our opponent to tap mana first, though. I cast Showdown. Would you like to counter Showdown? It's a lot of cards. Might scare you. Okay. We'll take the action to put it on top. I will Growth Spiral. I will Showdown. Would you like to counter it now? Okay. Counterspell revealed. Unfortunately, we can only play one land here, right? Yeah, no way to cheat that. So the counterspell's not going to do us any good. It's just going to help us hit more lands, more zombies. Gotta expect to settle the wreckage. Thinking about it, aren't you? Gear Hulk. Strong. Casting what? I'm surprised they didn't Gear Hulk for a counter. Like, I mean, Aether Gust here, I already got some value, you know? It doesn't really stop me from doing anything. Also makes a Wrath a lot worse. But yeah, this is just a battle of endless value over here. $20 to $36. They know about counter spells, so they know if they're going to use a counter next turn, they have to counter two things. They have to win a war. All right, math, 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 go. I think what we're supposed to do is lead with Omnath. Oh, and I skipped to combat, which I didn't mean to do. I hit the keyboard when I was, like, moving my hand. So, basic MTG dexterity issues. Gotta watch out for that auto tapper. It's so brutal in this deck. Okay, that resolved. Uro. That's put from hand, though. It won't play both of these. Let's see if we can hit with the Risen Reef, which I guess I should have played first. May as well. We're gonna lose it otherwise. Land. Cool. Makes the mana. Well, we resolve that spell. Let's go hard. Nice. Now we get to play this land that was about to get exiled anyway. Opponent takes 4. We have Brainstorm, which can add a counter to something. And we have all these exiled for next turn. It might have an Hour of Devastation, which would make the Brainstorm here a good idea, but I think it's better to wait till next turn overall. The deck is doing things. Things are happening. We're also getting Dream Trawlered every single turn, so our opponent's getting a nice flow of cards as well. And we can guess they might be out of counter spells based on last turn. They're probably avoiding wrathing the board as much as they can. They don't want to play a sweeper while these creatures are here. Okay. Eight mana? It just gets easier the more you ramp. They're going to clear the graveyard with Rest in Peace. Do they know about this Uro? It's pretty brutal. Imagine playing Rest in Peace and Torrential Gearhulk together. They're tapped out. They are tapped out, though. So, can we kill you? Can kill the Gearhulk. I just don't think that's much of an accomplishment. Let's go Omnath. There's still Stick. It's probably for Dream Trawler, but Pact of Negation isn't out of the question. Belladar Retreat. Pretty strong card. These both enter tapped. These don't. But I can't get to the mana I need, can I? No, the second land drop is the one that generates... I didn't play the Sword Tooth. I think I was supposed to play the Sword Tooth. The second land drop is the one that generates the mana, and I think I missed it. Yeah, I can't play this now. See, I'm one short. Oh, that's nasty. That's too bad. Explore is there too, but we're a mana short. Still, the opponent's probably just dead. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 24, 25, 26. I see a chump block and take 26, but I guess they think they're not going to get out of it from here. Last ROM, Garrick. Garrick? Probably gonna need some help, Garrick. I brought a pretty powerful deck, but this hand is slow. I think I'm supposed to mulligan it. It does have all my colors though. And our opponent's playing a slow commander. Yeah, mulligan. Alright. Ramp cards, nice. Opponent's friendly. Going to make their absolute destruction just a little more difficult. Let's go ahead and play this tapped since I don't have a forest or plains in sight. These are our next two lands because of their fast landness. Their time to enter the battlefield untapped expires. So I guess we want a Growth Spiral then to put this into play, right? Because next turn it'll be tapped. Let's just do it now. They do have Lotus Cobra, so a little bit of ramp from our opponent. Shovel. Shovel is a card advantage machine, but you gotta have land, guys. You got to play land in this format. There's no choice. Let's not play this and hold up the counterspell, but CGB, you don't have double blue. I have Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which hides our double blueness. As you see, this is a plains, island, swamp, mountain forest. If my voice is a little weird, it's because I just streamed. Voice is a little bit exhausted today. I'm gonna have done, like what, 6 hours of content by the time I finish this video? And it's been excited content because new formats are exciting. Broken cards, while they get old fast, they are exciting. Shovel wants to rumble. Well, we're not gonna block because of Death Touch. It'll kill this, the opponent will gain 3 life, draw a card. It's a bad deal. Here's Omnath. With the trigger on the stack, the opponent might kill this. I'm willing to accept that because they don't get any bounty from Shovel. Okay. We get a card. We get set back for a turn. We get to do it again next turn. Don't really want to ramp. I don't want to ramp too hard in general. I don't want to play out all the lands from my hand because they're Omnath triggers too. Let's do it like this. It's a good thing that Omnath draws a card, so it's a card advantage engine all of its own. No. No rankles. Rankle too strong. Right. See what we get? Why did it leave up the field? I don't know. Magic is weird. Now we have to do some thinking. We'll play the wilds. There's the life. We can play the pathway. There's the mana. We can play this 4. Stop worrying about Shovel and the bounty counters. We'll hold the Evolving Wilds. We can either tap it for mana with the Dryad, or we can sack it to gain some life. Grokmaw. Grokmaw. Interesting. Commit off the top. Pretty fun thing to play against a Grokmaw. You have a 6-mana commander opponent. You really need to play more land. You need to play a lot of land, I promise you. Trigger. Oops. I meant to do this one. Evolving Wilds and Field of Ruin looking pretty sus together. Let's do it. New hand. I'm reloaded. I just happen to have a few more lands than my opponent. So I guess we can play one of these and deal 4 damage. Seems fine. Oh, we can play another one. Now we have Memory Lapse? Nice. I had forgotten how many lands we started with. Like, keeping track of your land drops with this deck is actually pretty hard. But I'll take a Memory Lapse. So, we can lapse that, and then we probably win, and the opponent probably scoops. But, playing Omnath again is just another free card. If you want content, sometimes you have to let the opponent feel like they're winning. The goose, huh? That's why that's why I'm the content creator here on YouTube. I understand when to play with my opponent. Enjoy yourself. All right, let's start triggering this card. Woo! So nice. Oh my goodness. Popping off. Oh man, the other Omnath. When the first Omnath is the least of your problems, right? Why not? Seems like a good time to do it. We're not done yet. All right, non-land. What do we reveal? Mirari's Wake. Goodness gracious. What's better than all that mana? All that mana times 2. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced. It makes the QQ game exciting. Like, I don't even know how to figure out how much mana I'm supposed to have here. And see, they would have just scooped if we memory lapsed that Death Sprout. Now you get to see what absolute pain looks like. Garrick will probably chop down Omnath Locus of the Royal, but that card did its job. In every sense of the word. Or maybe Garrick will make wolves. That could also occur. That could also occur. Mirari's Wake. We're doing dubs. We're going for double. Let's start hitting the land drops. How long will they sit through it? How much stamina do they truly have? Here it goes. Here it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have triggers. Woo. Let the nonsense begin. Except today, I really mean it. No, don't leave! Don't leave! We held him, we got him to hang on as long as we could. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mono red. Okay. Let's go. We go first. We win! Mono red defeated, vanquished in epic, glorious battle. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how it's done. Kinnan is here. Kinnan the Beloved. Banned colors and we can cast our spells. And we go first and we have a lot of ways to counter the Kinnan. So that is a keeper. We'll have to find red. And we'll see if we're up to that challenge. Could play the Azusa and hit 2 more land drops, but we'd have to take down the counterspell mana, which I'm not okay with. Opponent doesn't have green. You gonna play along here? Interesting. So how many counters do you think they have? Probably all of them, right? Well, let's find out. First counterspell. Second counterspell? Or second counterspell? I'm not interested in forcing that out. We'll force out something else later. Yep, because you know the mana dorks are coming. They either have full control on or they have a double major, I guess, is what it is. That would hold priority right there. I want to play the Nissa, but I think I can get my... They're going to have more mana available next turn, though. Next turn it gets pretty real pretty fast. I don't like giving up on Seagate, but I guess we have to try. Nice. So if we lapse that and they have to hold up 4 mana for it, it's difficult. We don't have a forest, though. Alright, go get him, Seagate. If it dies, it can get shuffled back into the deck later. And then we might still cast it, live the dream. Do not use the double major, because they're trying to hold up Remand, I guess. But if they use the double major, they would have the mana from the Caryatid. So maybe they don't have what I think they have. It's possible. Omnath. Counter War 1 for now. And we'll see what happens. Our opponent has a lot of mana and a Kinnan, so they might just be able to play some broken things. Our hand is not that inspiring, but our board is pretty strong. Activate abilities cost 2 less. Oh boy. Oh boy, Kinnan. Oh boy. Here it comes. Alright, top 5, non-human creature. Quandrix Cultivator. Like, all the creatures either generate more mana or there's some big hits. This is actually a really good hit because it slows down the beating from the 3/3s. Pretty nasty. We have a lot of mana available, but we don't have a lot to do with it yet. Well, they figured out how to cast Quandrix Command and bounce Nissa. And they made their turtle a 5/6. Okay. Okie dokie. I guess it's a good reason to play multiple lands. And if we're going to play multiple lands, we should play the one that's a forest.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Behold, nature's true power.
See what we hit. Alright, well this deals 4 damage if we play it now, or it can try to start the chain next turn if we play it later. But we are out of cards, which is getting scary. I guess they have to attack the Nissa, but so we can block with the Omnath. If we attack with the Omnath and they block it, we can play it next turn, but I guess we'll wait. Omnath is also the card advantage engine of the deck. We need it to die so we can keep bringing it back. That's a Gilded Goose. Would you like to do it again? Something tells me you would like to do it again. Kazandu Mammoth. I've been more impressed, I gotta say. How does this work? Next time target creature adapts, put a counter on it. Ugh. Guess that doesn't mean much. A little too obvious now that I want it dead to draw a card. They might have a counter spell though. Treasure map. We take those. So the opponent's going to get to keep digging through their deck, and they're going to keep finding awesome, awesome cards. I'm trying to decide if I need to play this land or save it up to try to get more triggers off this sucker. But I guess the life could still be important. Everything could be important. Here we go. Incubation Druid. Do you have anything in there worth getting? I'm starting to question you. Starting to question your deck building. Is it RNG or is it pilot nonsense? Whiff. What is going on? How many cards have you looked at now? 25? I guess it is a hundo stack, so maybe that's not as absurd as it sounds. I scry. I scry for one. No. No. I scry again. I wish I had been able to hang on to the Seagate. Okay. Draw. Okay then. Okay then. Let's freaking go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I should have held on to that because I might have played a forest and wanted to untap that. So, 10. It's a good draw. I bet the opponent would like to draw. I want something like that. Okay, Mystical Dispute is probably not it. This is a forest. See, we do have the Azusa, so we got a lot of mana to go here, actually. Will it ultimatum? It will? Sounds fun. Oh. Oh. Do we want this in the hand or on the battlefield? In the hand, we can cast it next turn. That's lame. That ain't the way. Smash it on the battlefield. And that's how you do it. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and I'm gonna keep it brief because my voice is killing me, and doing 2 videos today plus a stream was a lot. But when you're excited about content, it doesn't feel that bad until the very end. Then it feels like you got run over by a truck, which is about where I'm at right now. But I wanted to get this deck and this video out to you as soon as I could, because 100 card, historic brawl, it's here. Play the festival, play the Friday night event, then play the festival next week. Vote with your gold, your gems, and your time. It's a cool format. I really want it around more often, and it's as close as we are and have ever been to playing Commander on MTG Arena, which I really hope that happens someday. So, on that note, I hope that you go out there and smash away with your Omnath deck. If I were to make a change, I think I would take out the Ulamog, the Ugin, and put in Finale of Devastation and Craterhoof Behemoth. I think those are both mythics. They might not be worth crafting to you, but I would do it. And I would also cut the colorless lands, except for, say, Field of the Dead and Field of Ruin. I would cut the rest of them, and I would get in a little bit more colored mana, particularly green mana, into the build. Maybe the snow tap lands are fine, something like that. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video, and you made it all the way to the end, so please hit subscribe. Please like the video. You probably did if you're still here. And in return, as a thanks to you, I want to let you know that, at least from the point of view of this humble YouTuber, you're cool.